In this video, we're going to look at objective hazards on grade 1 scrambling ground. So when we're scrambling, we need to be really aware of objective hazards, hazards that are not under our control, that might occur whilst we're out in the mountains on our grade 1 scrambling routes. The main objective hazard for us is loose rock, and that might be loose rock that somebody knocks down onto us, or it might be loose rock that we end up pulling down onto ourselves. So the obvious thing to be aware of is other people that are around you, and I'm always sort of particularly concerned when I'm in a gully like this one, where anything that gets knocked down from people above me is going to get funneled or channeled into where I'm stood. So be really aware of who's above you and perhaps give them a bit of space, let them exit the gully before you enter it. It's common courtesy if you knock something down to give a warning shout, and in Britain we tend to just shout below. So if you hear somebody above you shout below, my advice on grade 1 scrambling ground is to have a look up, see where it's coming from, and try and get out of the way, because we're often on ground that's not vertical, so things should bounce. You should have time to react and to get out of the way. Equally, if you knock something down, give a really good shout, even if you're not aware of people below you, so that if there are people down there, they've got time to react and to get out of the way. If you're in a big group of people, you've got to make a decision. Are you going to enter and exit this gully one at a time to manage risk? Or are you perhaps going to come into it all together and keep your group really tight, so that if I knock something down onto somebody below me, if they're stood right next to me, they're probably not going to thank me for it, but it's not going to be sort of serious damage, not like knocking something 3 or 4 meters and it having time to build up a bit of momentum. So make that decision amongst your group. And then finally, looking at pulling rocks down onto ourselves, the easiest way to avoid this is to be really careful about what you're committing your body weight to. So as I approach a spike or a lump of rock that I'm going to put my body weight to, I'm probably just going to give it a quick tap and then a gentle tug before I commit 2 hands and my body weight to it. And just as you're moving, just constantly thinking, where am I going to be placing my feet? What am I going to be using for my hands? Is it solid? Is this thing going to come down when I commit my weight to it? So a healthy sense of paranoia. And that will keep you safe with objective danger of loose rock in the mountains.